Hello, Miss Dragoon. This is part 1, topic 1 for the mastery assignment. Sorry it's so late. I explained what happened in New York, but now I'm able to get it done. My example is find convergence or divergence. If it converts, find the value which it converges. So we have sigma equals 0 to infinity 5 to the n over 40 to the n plus 1, which converts to 5 over 4 close parentheses to the n times 1/4. You reduce that fraction. You split up that fraction, and we find that r equals 5 over 4, which is greater than 1. So with our rules of the series, we find that it's divergent. Okay, and we'll move on to topic 2 also. This is the ratio test. My example is sigma n equals 1 to infinity. We have negative 10 to the n over 4 to n plus 1 and times n plus 1. And when we have a subscript n plus 1, we just substitute all the n for the n plus 1, and you see the result there, negative 10 n plus 1, 4 to n plus 3 times n plus 2. So then we use the formula, the limit as n approaches infinity, absolute value of a subscript n plus 1 times 1 over a subscript n, and we get limit as n approaches infinity of the absolute value of negative 10 n plus to the n plus 1 over 4 to the n 2n plus 3 times n plus 2. We multiply that by 1 over a to the n to this a subscript n, which is 4 to the 2n plus 1 times n plus 1 over negative 10 to the n, and we reduce that to the absolute limit as n approaches infinity of the limit, and as n approaches infinity, the absolute value of negative 10 times n plus 1 over 4 squared times n plus 2, all in the absolute value. Due to the absolute value, we're able to take out 10 over 16, multiply it by the limit as n approaches infinity of n plus 1 over n plus 2, and that limit equals 1, and then we have 10 over 16 is less than 1. So this is convergent.